Hey guys, I'm back and I'm here to talk about episode 1125. Yes, 1125. Don't Panic, part 2. So, the A plot was about Katie and how her and Marisol have this falling out over the fact that Marisol revealed to the whole school that Katie is bulimic and Drew is involved in it, the presidency is involved in it, and basically. So my first thought about this episode and this plot was that the scene in the bathroom with Katie just made me want to hug her so badly. She just seemed so sad and just can I just hug her and then not let go ever, please? But I guess this was a really interesting plot, especially since that whole topic of like friend breakups is pretty common. I mean, the specific circumstances might not be, but I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to. I was surprised, honestly, that Katie forgave Marisol so quickly for that, and I do still kind of have to wonder if it's either Katie doing the mature thing and, really believing that Marisol feels for her, which is valid. I think, in that scene, the same scene in the bathroom, Marisol looked really hurt when Katie was saying that she didn't want to be friends with anymore. Or, the second option could just be that Katie feels like having a bad friend is better than having no friend at all. So I think we'll see where that goes. Sometimes, though, I really have to wonder if they're trying at all to make Marisol likable, because it certainly seems right now like she is a very universally hated character in the fandom. And, she had a bad start in season 10, and season 11 really hasn't helped her out that much either. But who knows? I mean, there are a lot of characters who've done a lot of really horrible things and then had turned out to have huge fan bases after all. So maybe they're going that direction. I don't know. It seemed this episode like they were trying to make her a little more human. At least. Also, crew, I'm still not feeling it, I have to admit. And at this point, I don't know if it's even like I'm not over Cadam, because I feel like the show certainly is. But I don't know, it just isn't working out for me. And I think part of that is because I just know they have an expiration date, which could be, next week for all we know. So, I don't know. I guess I'll just stick it out until then. I also have to admit, as much as it pains me to see Katie being so sad and, I feel like she's gone through a lot. That, admitting that she has bulimia has been a really big step. But part of me hopes that this isn't the last we hear of it, because even she said that, it's still a part of her, and I feel like it would just be too typical of them to forget about it, just like they have a lot of other things. So I'm hoping that we'll be reminded of it at the very least, hoping that Katie is happy, though. But the B plot was Sav and Miss O, which I think is still weird. And honestly, for an illicit relationship, it's pretty damn boring. You have to admit. And I don't know, the scene when they're talking to Mr. Simpson, I just like thought if he ever gets bored of just dealing with the same things over and over, being at the school for 10 years now. I mean, more if you count his years as a student. I don't know. Sav is still adorable with his little crush and everything. Maybe a little more than a crush at this point. But it just, I don't know. Their chemistry is okay, I guess, but it's just still boring. As was the C plot. Still don't really care much about this, especially not at this point. Although, I guess a few notes is that I guess Eli is now officially one Jufro away from being Craig, except much less engaging, if I must say so myself. Jake and Eli certainly seemed like they were pretty madly in love with each other in this episode. And something else that I'm not feeling is this Eli and Fiona friendship. I just don't get it. I feel like it's something that a lot of people thought would sound better on paper than it does in the show, because it just seems every time they talk, Fiona's just really annoyed with him. Maybe that's just because I'm annoyed with him at this point, but I feel like I'm getting that vibe, and, I don't know. I just not really a big fan of their friendship. Also, I thought that if anything, it would make, Fiona confront Adam just once, but it hasn't, so I guess not. And I know I said I'm neutral about all these, and I still am kind of neutral, but I do like Cake. I think they're really cute, and I don't know, they just seem really comfortable. Even when they fight, it seems comfortable. And I have to admit, a little part of me will be sad if, or maybe when, they break up. Probably when, let's face it. A few other notes on this episode. First of all, it was called Don't Panic, and I'm not really sure why, other than maybe this has been a warning for the promo after it, which certainly would be good words for me right now. But I don't know, I like the song Don't Panic. It reminds me of the Garden State soundtrack, but I'm not really sure what it has to do with this episode. And maybe I'm being nitpicky, but I've noticed this has happened for a lot of episodes recently. I just haven't really seen the connection with the title and the episode itself. And I mean, there's always been a few episodes like that, but I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of pulling them out of nowhere. Maybe that's just me. Also, was there some kind of uniform exception for election shirts? Because a lot of people were wearing election shirts which are not part of the uniform. And I think maybe this is just the part of me that just wants them to get rid of them already, because why are we still having uniforms? Why? I mean, they all have better clothes, and now they're accessorizing them, and they've pretty much forgotten about all of the other rules at this point, so why do we still have uniforms? So that's it for this episode. I will see you next week, assuming I make it through both this hurricane and the next 4 episodes. I'm not totally sure, but hey, whatever it takes, right, guys? So, bye.